It has happened again. The joy of normal life becomes a nightmare in seconds. That was the scene in Nice, France last night.
Nobody knew what to do.
He was like, I don't want to look up because he's, if I look up, he might shoot me.
Not only does the Muslim world have something in common with ISIS, it has too much in common with ISIS.
Islam has been spread by the sword for over 1,000 years.
We know the drill. Something happens somewhere in the world by someone claiming to be Muslim and acting in the name of Islam, and suddenly each and every single Muslim is held responsible and is looking for answers. The problem is twofold. One of them is that you suddenly have to respond to all of the discrimination and have to accept collective guilt. The other one is that you now are starting to doubt your own faith. You're wondering what these texts are that extremists overseas or Islamophobes here are putting forth, and you're trying to figure out how to contextualize those texts. You and even sincere non-Muslims that are trying to find out what Islam has to say about something. Go to Google, you search for an Islamic response, and buried in all the Islamophobic papers and books and articles and videos, you find a 2.5-page da'wah pamphlet response, which is completely insufficient to get you out of that new state of doubt that you're in. Or you go to university for the first time and you take your first philosophy class, you take your first science class, and suddenly you now have questions about what your religion has to say about scientism and new atheism and things of that sort. Or you're watching a left-wing Islamophobe on TV that's putting forth this idea that Islam and modern civilization are completely incompatible. We're getting attacked from all sides as Muslims, and in many situations it renders a paralyzing doubt, and we're no longer able to define ourselves and what our religion actually means because we're allowing everybody else to define it for us. So what are we trying to do? We just conducted a groundbreaking survey of Muslims across the country that have either left Islam or Muslims that are questioning their faith as to what's causing them to do so. For many, it's emotional factors, it's social factors, it's family issues, but for many, it's an intellectual crisis. It's a failure to find material that actually satisfies the concerns that they now have as a result of being attacked from all of these different sides. What we've come together to do is to form a research institute, a think tank with a megaphone, under the name of Yaqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls Yaqeen certainty, conviction. He calls us to have this in our own hearts. And when we are able to generate Yaqeen in our own hearts, a sense of conviction in our own hearts, we're able to move not only from doubt to conviction, but also from a state of idleness to contribution. This research institute is going to bring together academics from Ivy League schools that have studied philosophy at Harvard and the likes, with traditional Islamic scholars and students, to put them together in one room to produce robust papers, journals, videos, surveys, curriculum to deal with all of these attacks coming from all of these sides, to produce a sense of confidence in Muslims around the world. We have many policy institutes that are doing a tremendous job defending Muslims against the discrimination that they are facing in all of these different areas of public policy and matters that relate to public policy. But we lack a sustainable, institutionalized effort that can empower da'wah carriers, that can empower imams, that can empower Muslims around the world to take ownership of their faith once again, to define the text in the light of orthodoxy, what Islam actually has to say about certain things, aside from the extremists on the left or the right, the Islamophobes or the extremists overseas. We have a chance to claim our own faith. We have a chance to actually claim our own text and provide context to the things that are causing people trouble all over the world. This is an effort, inshaAllah ta'ala, that will bring together people of all walks of life, some of the most prestigious academics. They will do nothing but focus themselves on how to respond to the claims that are being leveraged against our religion, not just for the sake of defending us or making Islam more acceptable to the outside, but actually helping Muslims understand their faith as well. This research institute will produce material that will also instill a sense of pride and a sense of humanitarianism that's based on the text itself. And so within the next 2 months, we are going to unveil this full team of academics, of scholars that are coming together from across the country to produce this effort, a full plan as to what this institute is going to be and the entire scope. I've only given you a glimpse of it. Keep up with our website, inshallah ta'ala, to see where we are going with this and what our full plan is, and you will see an effort that hopefully will belong to the entire ummah and will be a source of defense and fortification for us with the onslaught of attacks that are coming to us from all these different directions.